We expect global growth to rise from a post-crisis low of 2.4% in 2016 to 2.7% in 2017. Now, for the first time in years, we have not had to downgrade our forecasts. Global growth appears to be on track to really strengthen. However, that's fragile because much of it, more than half of it, is actually just because of commodity exporters emerging from either recession or stagnation. As commodity prices stabilize, their growth is probably going to go from near zero to about 1.8%. But a big shock could derail that recovery. And there are any number of risks facing the global economy, and trade protectionism is one of them, or at least the threat of trade restricting measures.
Look, we don't get the impression that the president is a great fan of multilateral organisations. So is this the World Bank going back to the president in the United States and saying, look, it's you who can actually upset the apple cart rather than anything else? I mean, because when we talk about protectionism, we talk presumably about noise that's coming out from the Trump administration.
It's been for several years now that the number of trade restricting measures has outpaced the number of trade liberalizing measures. It goes beyond any single country. It's something that we see worldwide. It's something we see in advanced economies, something we see in emerging markets and developing economies. And for us, the real concern is that emerging markets are particularly exposed to advanced economies trade. For example, 60% or more than 60% of emerging market trade goes to advanced economies. So with trade restrictions now more and more seeping into the public discourse in advanced economies, that is something that really could undermine growth prospects for emerging markets and developing economies.
The trading picture perhaps is a little better, but investment is still subpar. And it's hard at this stage with very low projected rates of return on low interest rates to see why investment would kick up a gear.
We see a clear investment pickup in advanced economies. So there, for example, the recovery in the US, in Europe, is buttressed by strong investment. Where investment is weak and has been weak for the last 5 years is in emerging markets and developing economies. Now, the crux of the investment weakness in emerging markets is very different of what it used to be in advanced economies. In advanced economies, it was just a phenomenon of weak growth. It's just a cycle. In emerging markets, been a whole number of headwinds to investment. FDI was weak, political uncertainty, low commodity prices. So unless these factors really unwind across the board, investment may well remain weak in emerging markets.
You say